fellow Falcoholics. What is up? Welcome to episode 134 of the Falcoholic Live. I'm your host, Kevin Knight, joined by a full house of co-hosts and a special guest joining us in just a little bit this evening to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to be breaking down our takes on what the Falcons' offseason plan might be. We've heard quite a few interviews from General Manager Terry Fontenot this week, so we're going to, talk about what he said in those interviews, whether or not you should care, whether or not you should really look into it at all, that sort of thing. We're going to talk about the big question on everyone's mind, which is Matt Ryan's future in Atlanta. Is 2021 going to be his final season here, or will he stick around longer? And we're also going to conduct a live 7-round mock draft at Eric Robinson's urging. I think he's itching to get those draft takes off. So we're going to do that. I have set up our mock draft machine for trades as well, so we can get spicy if we want this evening. And I'm sure. Yeah. I forgot to buy it until like literally 10 seconds ago, and then I remembered to do it. So we're all good. We're set up. So as always, guys, if you don't mind throwing a like at the video, that helps other folks on YouTube find the channel. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you, guys. And again, check out our Patreon if you're interested in supporting the show. That's patreon.com/Falcoholic Live for access to some exclusive content to help us keep this channel ad-free, because we all hate ads. We definitely want to keep it ad-free for all of you guys all the time, and for some of those exclusive perks, like I said. So let me welcome in my co-host this evening. First of all, Eric Robinson. He is at _Eric_Robinson on Twitter. Eric, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. We're what, under 100 days until the draft?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not going to check your math. I'll believe it.
So it's definitely a scouting report season now. So
yeah, we're getting into the swing of it. You guys have been cranking them out now, so I appreciate that. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. I love draft season as well, and we have a great team over there, including you, obviously, that are helping us get those great reports out for everyone. So that the fans as well can be informed on some of these high-end prospects the Falcons could be taking a look at in the first and second round. Also with us tonight, Adnan Ikic. He is at Say Which Way, noted Matt Ryan hater. Adnan, out early from class tonight. We're happy to have you for the full show. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well, and you mentioned a special guest, and I have that special guest right here.
Oh, there it is. Yep,
yes,
exactly.
My cat will help break down the Falcons draft this evening.
Yes,
right,
we need.
Go
we need a good stream cat. I think a good stream cat can take the show over the edge. So yeah, but yeah, no, the special guest. Yeah,
I never took you as a cat guy, Adnan.
I'm absolutely a cat guy. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm both. I love dogs as well. I'm just an animal lover overall.
Yeah. I'm also a cat guy. I do like dogs as well. I've had both, but I have 2 cats currently, so that's the vibe here. I think. Are you a dog guy, Eric?
I had some days, but no longer. Yeah. Pets, and not only for myself, but my son as well. Yeah, we don't have a good history with them. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, well, we won't dive into that. We'll save that for the pets pod. That's coming later in the off season in the dark dead zone. But
come June, you never know what we'll talk about.
Exactly. It could be anything. It's probably going to be up to you guys out there. So, but yeah. So the special guest is going to be Dave Choate. He will be joining us shortly whenever he gets a chance. He's going to be coming on to give those fire takes, give you guys that hashtag Dave meet that you've been waiting all off season for. So he will be joining us whenever he is available. But until then, let's go ahead and break into some of this talk from Terry Fontenot. I haven't listened to all of the podcasts. I listened to the Adam Schefter one, but a lot of people seem to be reading into his words a lot and taking a lot away from it. And I would maybe suggest that don't take what he's saying like super seriously. But yeah, I mean, did you guys have any takeaways from?
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's mid-February. I saw the other day there was a vigorous debate going on one of those ESPN shows about what it means that the Dallas Cowboys hype video didn't have Dak Prescott in it. So we're officially in that part of the year where everyone is looking at literally everything. They're reading too much into everything. Give the people what they want. We need to dissect word for word what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is the time where we need to overreact to anything that's said. If Matt Ryan, happens to delete a picture of himself in Falcons gear, then we need to all prepare for him to be leaving the team imminently. No, that is the type of year it is, though. Like the type of offseason. I mean, we've already seen some wild stuff happen with, the Matt Stafford trade, Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz could also be on the move. So, it's going to be a wild year out there, but I don't expect the Falcons to have all that wild of an offseason leading up to the draft, at least. But yeah, I mean, did you guys have any immediate takeaways from anything that Fontenot said? Other than that, he seems like a really cool dude. Like, he seemes like a guy I just want to like sit down and have a beer with and just like talk
He
football.
seems super likable.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, I guess the hot topic today was, his statement on, I guess, their draft approach, and them going and entering it, best player available for the most part. And there were some individuals who, of course, wanted to take that little tidbit and run away with it and dissect it however they want to. But I think with their approach, their BPA approach right now, I think is pretty damn smart, to be quite honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's so early. We still have what? Like I pointed out, we still have less than 100 days until the draft. So who's going to be showing their hand this early? Like,
fools. Yeah. I mean, like we were talking about it in our Falcoholic private chat, that it's really the Falcons actually have the incentive to try to spin up like interest. Like it's really they're incentivized to try to make teams think that they're taking a quarterback at 4, because if they are wanting to trade down, teams fearing that the Falcons will take that 4th quarterback or 3rd quarterback if he's there at 4, if they don't make a good enough offer, that is going to be a big component of how much value the Falcons can get out of that pick. Now, they might just honestly just take whatever quarterback's there if they like who's available, but like if they're wanting to trade the pick, they really need to convince teams that they might draft a quarterback, because otherwise, there's a chance that no one's going to take the bait. They're going to be like, oh, we could just trade with the Bengals at 5, or we could, wait. So
I think history has shown that teams that have that BPA approach are some of the most dangerous teams in the draft, because you don't know. You don't know which direction they're going. You don't know how reluctant they may be to trading. You don't know how in favor they will be of trading. I mean, you just don't know when it comes to a team like that. I mean, when it came to the Falcons, it didn't take the 3 of us long to figure out their draft strategy and what direction.
No.
Yeah, we just didn't know who the exact players were going to be.
Yeah, but we could pin it down. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a pool of guys like, okay, they're probably going to go here. They're probably going to go here. But we figured it out. With this, I don't mind it at all. And I think it's Fontenot saying that the team has a number of holes, and he just wants to get better from top to bottom, not just specifically one position or one side of the ball. He wants to get better all around. Again, I admire it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also with Fontenot, you mentioned it, just how likable of a personality he is. And I think we've seen it with Arthur Blank in that and this isn't just an Arthur Blank thing. This is just, I think, an NFL thing overall, where when one type of personality doesn't work out, you go to the other spectrum completely. And I'm not saying that this is a bad thing or that, anyone's wrong for this, but you look at it, Bobby Petrino, asshole, comes in. I caught the end of the show a couple of weeks ago with Keenan Forney and the Note. That was fantastic. But so he leaves. He ditches the team in the middle of the night. And who do they bring in? They bring in, maybe the nicest guy around, Mike Smith. Mike Smith gets fired after 2014, and they bring in someone who is, also a very nice guy, but someone who is much more of a motivator, as opposed to Smith, who's, more of a reserved personality. You're not really going to hear much from him, and you didn't hear much from Dan Quinn. But with Dan Quinn, it was like, more. I feel like players could really get behind Dan Quinn's message more so, especially the first few years. Now and you saw it also with the Jets too. For example, Todd Bowles, very quiet, reserved guy. he leaves, and you bring in Adam Gase, who's just like, out there. So now you have Thomas Dimitrov, who is someone who, no disrespect to Dimitrov, but he didn't seem like the most likable person of all time.
And we don't just say that for personal reasons.
And he leaves, and after he gets fired, you bring in Fontenot, who's just like this guy who, like you said, you just want to like sit down with him, share a beverage with him, and just kick back and shoot the shit with him. That's not the vibe that Thomas Dimitrov gave off. So, and I'm not saying that that's the reason why they hired Fontenot. Fontenot has a wealth, 2 decades of experience in the Saints front office. But I'm just saying it's an interesting thing of seeing the way that NFL teams and NFL owners operate when it comes to whom they hire and whom they possibly look at.
Yeah, it is interesting, and like I really like Fontenot. I mean, he's to me said all the right things, and I'm excited to see what he does. But like, he's also I don't like, we don't know too much about him, but like, he's not stupid. Like, he's not gonna go out there and be like, oh yeah, like this is what we're doing in the draft. Like Eric was saying, like no one's tipping their hand this early. He's just trying, like he's going on shows. He's trying to do the rounds. But I think he's saying all the right things for a Falcons team that basically needs to conceal their true motivations, but needs there to be nuggets out there for other teams to digest. Like, oh yeah, well we need to add quarterbacks, and we're going to take the best player available and all this stuff. Like, it's all conflicting information, but I think the Falcons have to enter draft day with teams feeling like they're serious about taking a quarterback at 4. Not that they absolutely will, because if the Falcons were just going to take whoever they wanted at 4, teams wouldn't bother calling them to trade up because they just think that the Falcons are going to take a quarterback. But I think they would if they do their job right, they'll go into draft day with teams thinking that the Falcons are a legitimate team to take a quarterback. And if you look at, mock drafts and things like that at this point, that is where we're at, right? Like, we're seeing quarterbacks mocked to the Falcons probably more than any other position. So the general consensus seems to be that is where the team is aimed. And also, as promised, #DaveMe, our special guest, Dave Choate, joining us. Dave, how are you doing this evening?
Living the dream, man.
Living the dream. That, yeah, you popping on the Falcoholic Live. That is absolutely the dream. I agree. Yeah.
It actually is the dream. So. See these handsome faces,
Oh yeah, it's very important. Yeah, makes my evening. So,
Dave, we almost replaced you with my cat for this show, so just so I know you're on thin ice.
Yeah, Adnan's cat was chomping at the bit to get on here, so get those fire takes off. Yeah,
he's more insightful than I am, so I get it.
Dave, I'm not gonna lie. Just looking at you is making me cold right now. Are you somewhere off in the wilderness?
I mean, it's actually fairly warm here right now. It's like 30-something degrees. So.
Comparatively to other places, like compared to what normally is like 30 is actually probably a reasonable temperature right now in New Hampshire. I think it's like 20 here in Syracuse. So that's like a normal temperature for us. I think it's like 20 in Texas right now, which, shout out to Texas. I hope you guys are okay down there, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel awful about that. Like we got a freezing rainstorm the other day, and I almost hated taking the trash out in my own driveway, but I'm used to that. That's like an everyday thing. It's not in Texas.
Yeah. No, they just can't handle it. I think they showed, there was like a picture of like the state line road between Texas and Arkansas, and Arkansas has plows, and it was just like Arkansas is totally clear and Texas is like still buried under snow like days later.
It's insane. I know, and it's like my brother compared it to like us getting a hurricane, a tornado, like a heat wave up here. Like nobody's ready for that. Nobody knows what to do. Like the equipment isn't there for it. It's ugly. So yeah, if you're in Texas, be safe, be warm.
Yeah. I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, Dave, just to let you know.
Oh, okay. I'll see if I can crank up the volume.
Crank up the volume. Just eat the microphone. I've heard that works. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do what I can. Yeah.
Thank you. No, guys, but so I mean, we were talking about Fontenot's most recent comments and how people are maybe drawing a little too much from them. But do you have any takes on Fontenot's recent media appearances, Dave?
Yeah, I think he is in many ways he's really personable, really thoughtful guy. But I think people are so eager to read into and find out what this Falcons team is going to do, that they're reading too much into what he has to say. In many ways, he is like Dimitrov in that he's not giving anything away. He's going to give you breadcrumbs in the same way that Dimitrov every year was like, well, we could trade down. That's something that could happen, but we don't know Terry Fontenot well enough yet to know when he's obviously lying to us. And so I think really the only thing you can draw from what he's told us so far is that every road is wide open. They're going to look at everybody. They're going to try to pick the best player available, but even that'll have limitations. They're not going to probably pick a kicker at number 4, even if there's a generational kicker available, which there isn't. So I think we just have to get used to the idea that we really don't know anything about what he's thinking or where this team is going. And so it's best just to read his comments as an affirmation that, they do really want to have a team where people compete for their jobs and they add more talent to do that. And they're trying to get the very best guys. And I think that's all you can really ask for. And, with 1 or 2 or 3 drafts and off seasons under our belt, we'll know him better. And we'll know when, the same way we knew that Dimitrov was never going to trade down in the first round. We'll know maybe that Fontenot's best player available doesn't include certain positions, but we just don't know that.
Yeah. I agree. I think that it is going to be interesting to see which direction they do go. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, kicker, not really going to be on the menu today. But yeah, I mean, I know.
Wouldn't it be wild if Fontenot is just the polar opposite of Dimitrov when it comes to trading, where every single draft he just now just has this urge to trade down every single time, and we have like a million picks like the Patriots?
Yeah, I mean,
would welcome that, but also it would be great because we had Trader Thomas and now we could have Trader Terry. Like, it just works out so well,
It fits.
Trader Terry, I like it.
I think that's probably going to be the norm going forward, where pretty much every draft that we see from this regime is going to be a guessing game, large in part. It's going to be, pretty much going BPA. And again, like I say, historically, if you look back on the drafts, teams that have that mentality, that approach, are some of the more dangerous teams in the entire draft, because you have no idea where they're going. Baltimore was that way for years with Ozzie Newsome, that BPA approach. The Saints were like that too when Fontenot was there with Mickey Loomis. So for them to have that mindset right now, I think it puts the Falcons in a great place, because you're going to, at the very least, you're drafting in the top 5. You're probably going to get an all-pro, a perennial all-pro, but you just don't know exactly at what position. And again, I think they put themselves in a good position for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think and that's kind of what the crux of the show is, right? Is like, I think they do have multiple ways they could go this offseason, multiple plans they could pursue. One kind of being the try to maximize their window with Matt Ryan and, maybe trade down, maybe draft the best player they can get that's not a quarterback and try to go all in over these next few years with Ryan and then reset things after Ryan's contract has kind of expired. Or they could go the other route, which would be to draft that quarterback at 4 and then basically try to reboot things in 2022 with a lot more cap space and potentially extra draft capital from some sort of Matt Ryan trade if everything goes well. But those are two kind of different strategies. I think both are viable. So I think there's a lot of fans that think, Matt Ryan's still plenty good, and he is. And there's a lot of fans that think that the right thing to do is to just get the quarterback now because the team is in position to grab one without giving up a ton of resources, not trading away a bunch of picks to get in position like the 49ers are going to have to do, or even the Panthers at 8. They are considering this big trade up to 3 to get one of these quarterbacks because they won one more game than Atlanta, so it's being in position to get the guy you want without giving up premium resources, other than, of course, your regular first round pick, which is the 4th pick for the Falcons, obviously.
It's why I was pounding the table down the stretch to continue the tank and to keep it alive and well. And I mean, I was holding my breath in that Kansas City match.
They almost blew it. They did, but thank God Younghoe Koo is a legend. So
but the thing is, technically, they did tank him. We didn't even really, but it was a competitive tank. I mean, they were 0-5. They were 0-5 down the stretch, and
it's the best kind of tank.
People were like, "Yeah, tank." They don't need to tank, guys. They're not good enough to win some of these games. So they're probably gonna...
That did help, Yeah, they made it look real. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I thought for a second that we were about to rattle off, an unnecessary win streak down the stretch. Yeah. And knowing Arthur Blank, you would have probably kept Raheem Morris after that for the continuity.
I still think to this day a win over Kansas City or Tampa would have helped Raheem Morris tremendously in this.
I would have been furious.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it would be. Yeah.
If they would have beat Kansas City, I think Raheem Morris might have been the head coach today, to be honest with you.
For me, that door was sealed when we got swept by Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
After that, it's like, all right, like
it's done. Yeah.
You can absolutely win out. You can beat Kansas City by 50, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
But
you knew that was coming. Too. Like, I just kept talking about how embarrassing it would be to Taysom Hill, and I knew all along, deep down inside, that it was going to happen anyway. So,
Dave.
What can you say?
Dave, we can't hear you. Yeah.
No,
it's. I hate to be the one to break it to you, Dave.
I've been talking with him, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Okay, one moment. Yeah, maybe we just need to do some resetting here because we love Dave. We he's the boss man. We can't be like too rude to him. Yeah.
I don't want Dave for the next 2 hours to be like holding a conversation and it's like you can't hear a word he says.
These opportunities don't come around often. We don't get many chances to have the boss man on the show with us. So
because now that he's gone, because he secretly hates us. Because Kevin beat him in trivia one time.
That was true. Yeah, one time. Yeah. He holds grudges, that man. It's never been the same. Yeah.
Adnan and I have been promoting his Twitter handle a lot lately.
Falcons.
Yeah.
It's a way of getting back at him for cutting our funding. That's why we keep asking for donations. So we're trying to keep the lights on over here.
Yep, it's wild over here in these Falcoholic streets.
I'm tired of eating bread every night, Dave. Just by the way,
got to smash it up with some milk.
Yeah, but the thing is, our contracts are like ironclad, lifetime. No getting out of them.
Yeah, signed in blood, as he likes to remind us.
I mean, I don't even know what kind of agreement he has with DW. He just keeps asking to get fired.
Tequila. DW gets paid in tequila.
That's right. Yeah, that's smart. That's very smart. I wish I had that option.
It is smart.
Oh, hey, Dave.
Now I can hear.
Nice to have you back.
Hey.
Oh man, you got the pro gamer headset.
I like it. The $10 Target Pro Gamer headset because I vacuumed up my last one. So
it works great though. I legitimately like this is day and night. I'm really glad I said something.
Yeah, I could have done the whole thing as a Charlie Brown teacher thow. Could have been a legend. Couldn't let it go.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Dave. Very flexible. That's what we do on the podcast. We just we rock in here. We just we roll with the punches. We take the show where it needs to go. Sometimes it goes weird places, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I mean my legendary New Hampshire internet is usually a problem, so at least that's working.
Yeah, so far so good on that one. Yeah, very good so far.
I'm still not over you calling 30-degree weather warm.
I mean it's pretty warm.
Yeah.
It's warm. Yeah.
I legitimately I go out to take walks in in this t-shirt. It's just a t-shirt and one jacket, and it's 20 degrees. After you live here for so long, you just kind of get used to it. It's just not as big a deal. But
can't do it. It's mid-40s here, and I don't want to go anywhere.
I'm stuck in my house. Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's like if it gets to be 90, 100 up here, which it did several times last summer. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It gets too hot, and then we get
the opposite. Yeah. That's going out and playing sports weather here.
Yeah, I'd die.
Yeah, I hated it. Even when I lived in Florida for 20 years, I hated it. I mean, I could do it, but not fun. But anyway, about the Falcons,
Speaking of not fun.
Speaking of not fun, yeah, good seg there. No, but yeah, I mean, we've talked about these two approaches, a kind of a win now approach, trying to maximize Matt Ryan, really take advantage of this 4th overall pick, maybe flipping it for some additional resources and filling out this roster kind of to load up for one last run with Ryan over the next few years, or going in a new direction with a young quarterback. I guess the team has not made any sort of overtures as to what direction they're going to take. We haven't seen any cuts yet, any free agent moves, anything like that. So we're basically going off our gut right now. So this is the best time for me to ask where you guys think this whole thing is heading. So if you had to, put your flag on the stick with Matt Ryan and ride it out hill, or the draft a young quarterback hill, where would you go? Dave, I'll let you get the first crack at that. Where are you leaning at this point in the offseason?
Where am I leaning in terms of preference, or what I think the team is going to do?
I guess what you think the team is going to do.
I think ultimately they're going to try to move down a little bit and still kind of have it both ways. I think they are going to draft a quarterback that they like to sit for a year or two. I am not convinced it's going to happen at number 4. I think it could happen middle of the first round. I think it could happen second or third round. I think they could take a guy like Felipe Franks or something like that who needs some work, definitely needs some work, maybe major work, put him in the shop for a year or two and go from there. I don't think that they are going to commit to Matt Ryan for the next 3 to 5 years. I don't think with a brand new regime in town, just with the cost of having a franchise quarterback at that age and with kind of a mandate to try to win now and win later, that's going to be the long-term play. But, for a year or two, and I think it could be 2, that is something they're going to do. And maybe, if Ryan absolutely knocks their socks off and it turns out that in Arthur Smith's offense, he's awesome. He's back to normal and he continues to age pretty gracefully, doesn't get hurt, then, maybe they change plans. And you can do that, I think, to some extent, if you don't draft your quarterback at number 4.
Right.
And I think there's going to be so many compelling offers on the table. So many, we looked at just the state of the league and the quarterback position and how many teams, more than half the league could use an upgraded quarterback or really needs one. And so those offers will be on the table. I think Fontenot certainly understands that the best way to build this roster up quickly is to attack as many positions of need as possible, get as many good players as you possibly can. I think trading down accomplishes that. I think you still get your guy for the long haul. And then you kind of move forward, as Arthur Smith kept saying in his introductory press conference, with some flexibility. You can move on from Matt Ryan if the guy works out, or you take another tilt at it down the line, or if he's great and you want to stick with him, then hopefully the extra picks you picked up adds enough talent to make that possible. So, definitely drafting a quarterback, not at number 4. That's where I stand.
Okay. Yeah. That is an interesting take. I think people are kind of in 2 camps, and the one that's maybe it's both, maybe they do try to play with Matt Ryan for a few more years and maybe get like someone they think maybe has a chance to take over in a few years. So that's an interesting one. All right, Adnan, you're next. Where are you predicting the team is going to go in terms of Ryan versus new quarterback in the draft this year?
Well, since we have no idea about anything regarding Fontenot and Arthur Smith, this is kind of just like blindly throwing darts at the board.
Mm-hmm.
But
the best kind, yeah.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We don't even know where the dartboard is. We're just throwing it. I think they will go quarterback. That's my gut. That's what my gut's telling me right now. Just because it's a new regime, and whenever someone comes in and takes over, especially a first-time head coach, a first-time GM, they want to normally get their guy. They want to get the guy who they're going to tie themselves to, the guy whom they think can lead this team for the next decade, because if they take a quarterback and he hits, then their jobs are going to be safe for a long, long time. And they have a chance to have a lot of success. Now, of course, it has to hit. And, any position, quarterbacks especially, the hit rate isn't foolproof when it comes to quarterbacks. But when you're picking higher, I think you have a higher chance of getting the guy whom you want, of course. And I think they know that we probably won't pick this high again, and we won't have this pool of quarterbacks as easily accessible to us to take moving forward. And I would agree with that mentality, and I hope that they share that mentality. And I would hope that we end up with a Zach Wilson or a Justin Fields from this draft.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely on the table. I've gone on the record saying that on Twitter as well, that I think taking a quarterback at 4 is seeming likely. But Eric, where are you at right now? Where do you think the team is going to go in terms of this? Yeah,
I think it's wide open, and I honestly believe that the team is going to approach draft day thinking like there may not be one particular move or direction that they're in favor of. I think it's possible they go quarterback. I will say this, and I'll agree with Dave. I think they do walk away with a quarterback from this draft, whether it's at 4th overall, whether it's in the 2nd or 3rd round, or maybe a much more developmental guy on day 3. But I do think they exit this draft with a quarterback because you look, the day is going to come. The end of Matt Ryan is going to come. That era is going to come to an end, whether we like it or not. And like I always say, the best teams in the league prepare for that. They prepare for the inevitable, especially at a most important position like that. But at 4th overall, man, like I said, I think quarterback is on the table. I think a trade now is a real possibility.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised at all if they're drafting in the teens or outside of the top 10. It's wide open. I will say this though, my for sure bets. I don't think they're taking Jamar Chase. I don't think they're taking Kyle Pitts. Who else? I don't think they're reaching for an edge rusher at 4.
no.
But I do think it's a number of options there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I had to, if I was having to make a prediction, I would say they're probably taking a quarterback at 4, assuming the guy they want is there. And there's really no way for us to know which quarterbacks they would want. They might want all 4. They might think that they're all really good. They might want 3 of the 4. They might want 2 of the 4. I mean, who knows? It depends. But I don't think they're just going to take someone if they're there. What
I'm hoping is that they trade down within the top 10 and then go from there and see what's available.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends, I think, on the type of offers they get. Right. So if they get if you get an offer where you're talking multiple firsts and a couple day 2 picks, it's really hard to turn that down. Because at that point it becomes, well, can we really say no to this haul? Are we that sure in this quarterback? Because Matt Ryan could play out his contract. Next year's quarterback class is thought to be kind of weak, but the year before was thought to be kind of weak until Joe Burrow made his name, and then all of a sudden he was, amazing. Now, obviously, the Falcons play well with Matt Ryan. They're not going to be drafting a quarterback number 1 overall or anything like that, but it puts them in a bind because, like you guys said, they're probably not picking in the top 5 again, assuming this coaching staff works out. And if the coaching staff doesn't work out, then we can just say screw it because that means this team's not good and we're going to be starting over. So,
my question for you guys: what team do you guys see pushing to trade up? Because we hear everyone from Carolina to Denver to the Redskins to the Colts, the 49ers. Possibly the Patriots. What team do you guys what feel strongly about wanting to make a push up to 4?
Literally all of this.
All of them.
Yeah. I think you can just go roster by roster, see which team is weak at quarterback, and then just assume that they'll be on the phone. Especially with the Falcons, they also don't really know this new regime. They'll be guessing at it just like we are. So I think they'll definitely be on the phone with Fontenot, seeing what the price would be for a potential trade up. I think it can go, also among those teams, the Patriots, as low as the Bears, although I don't think that we'd be interested in moving back to 20. And if we do, I've said it previously, I want everything if we're going to trade with the Bears. Literally everything.
Yeah, we need like over 1,000 in trade value from the Bears just to get the points from the trade chart, and that's kind of out of you throw that out the window for QB trades too. But
and it's for a quarterback, so it wouldn't be like they're 20 and then like a 1 next year. No, I mean like I want at least 3 firsts and a second. And
where are they? They're what?
They're 20.
They're 20.
16 spots. Yeah, man. I need more
than huge.
Just.
I need what the Rams got for RG3 at the very least as a starting point.
Because they traded because the Falcons traded up for Julio. They traded 21 spots for Julio.
Yeah, but that wasn't for a quarterback either. That was
but look how much did they give up for Julio? They gave up 5 or 6 picks.
Yeah, an extra first in addition to 26, an extra second.
Right.
And I think a couple of day 3 picks as well. But regardless, for a quarterback, all of that goes completely out the window. And I mean, and the Bears, they seem desperate. Like Ryan Pace is Ryan Pace is trying to do something to keep his job.
I don't want to. I think the Colts are another team that's because they're literally a quarterback away from possibly being a Super Bowl contender, and they've been that ever since Andrew Luck retired.
Right. They seem to be in on Wentz too, right? I mean, they don't seem like they're offering what Philly wants, but they are interested.
Nor should they.
No, right. It doesn't seem like they're offering. They're willing to come off some picks for a quarterback, but they may be willing to do so for their own guy that they may be willing to groom. I don't know. I'm just looking at their standpoint. They don't have anything. Rivers is retiring. Jacoby Brissett is an unrestricted free agent. Like, they have absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Same with Washington.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do wonder, like, I mean, I think all the ones you mentioned are very interesting. San Francisco, I think, is an obvious one. I know they've been rumored to be looking at maybe like 2 or 3, but if they can't make that deal happen, 4 could be their target. Like, if they want Lance, then they're probably comfortable waiting until 4. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we don't need to trade up with Miami because we don't think Lance is coming off the board in the top 3 quarterbacks. Some teams might have Lance higher than Fields and Wilson. I mean, I would have Lance higher than Wilson, but I mean, I think they could probably wait until 4 if they wanted Lance, but like, so I think San Francisco's one. I know people have mentioned Denver, New England. Those are all teams that could be interested.
New England also has nothing at quarterback.
No. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams. Like, go ahead,
It
Dave.
feels like New England probably, I don't know, like they should trade up for a quarterback because they desperately need it, but it just doesn't feel like something Billy B is going to do. So, I don't know.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of teams, though, for sure.
Yeah.
You say that, but how Belichick has never been in this situation before. So we don't really know how he's going to react to this. This may be a situation, as great as the coach as he is, this may be a situation where he kind of panics a little bit. And he may, bargain, he may give up some chips to get, a position that he's had stabilized for 20 years. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I see your point, Dave, completely. This isn't something he would do, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint, like, man, he's never been without Tom Brady. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to just say, the way that I look at it too, though, is like, does he really believe that he made Tom Brady still? Maybe he does. And so, like, is he going to do like the John Baldwin versus Julio Jones thing where it's like, these are the same guy to me, and he's just going to try to pick up a mid-round guy and roll with it? I don't know. Like, they came pretty close to rolling out Jarrett Stidham as their starting quarterback last year.
Remarkable. Don't forget that. Yeah. I mean, I guess, there's some, buzz that New England likes Mac Jones and they feel like they can get him at 15, and they probably can. So maybe they're, out of it. But, like, there will be some more moves, right? Like, we're expecting Wentz to get traded. I don't think Philly's going to get this ridiculous asking price, but they might get a first for him. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but some team might.
I feel like a first would be a ridiculous asking price for one.
I agree, but somebody might do. I mean, the Bears might do it. The Bears are stupid, okay? Like, somebody's probably going to do it. They shouldn't, but they might, And, like, Watson, maybe, we'll see. But, like, there are going to be some of these voids that get filled, and there's going to be some movement. But there's still a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. So, like, the Falcons are going to have no shortage of suitors there at 4. So
they're probably going to have a good 3, maybe 4 teams that are going to be interested in it because, I mean, there's not really much to choose from out there. Wentz is going to go somewhere. Deshaun is going to go somewhere. And that's only going to eliminate a couple teams. Yeah. So, again, you might have a situation where, you probably got 4 or 5 teams knocking at your door on draft day.
Yeah.
Wanting to come up, so.
Yeah, and you have a lot of leverage. And in a potential bidding war, if we move back, we can get a haul. We should get a haul. And the only way I'd be fine moving back is if we really finessed someone.
I hope Fontenot has on his auctioneer voice because he needs it because he needs to be calling it out, man. Like, hey, I know you want to give me 2, but this other team over here, they want to give me 3 first. You got anything you want to tell? Like, what's up with that? So I mean, it's just he should definitely be ready for that come draft day.
All you got to do is say the Bears are going to give you more because it's totally believable the Bears will give you more. It doesn't matter if they are or not. Just make it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Bears are offering, 25 first-round picks for this guy, and they'll be like, oh, snap, they're probably right.
Ryan Pace just offered me his firstborn son for this pick. Yeah, you'll have to do better than that.
Yeah. I'll give you 6 first-rounders and my wife. How about that?
It could be.
You got to do it.
Yeah. And welcome in Evan Birchfield as well, at Evan Birchfield on Twitter. Evan, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're just talking about teams that might be considering trading up with the Falcons to get number 4 overall. Did you have any teams that you thought maybe would be interested in that 4th overall pick?
Real quick, you have to get Evan's title right. It's talent coordinator.
Oh, yes. Evan is the talent manager for the Falcoholic.
Yeah, you got a promotion.
Yeah.
It pays nothing, but, you get a new title.
Yeah.
Somehow I owe Dave money now, but
somehow, doesn't make sense.
Promotions work.
Yeah. Those business cards don't print themselves. I'm sorry. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know which ones you guys talked about, but I think a sleeper team could be like Minnesota. I'm not exactly sure what the compensation would be and stuff, but I think they're only like a year or 2 away. Like they really want to get moved on from Kirk Cousins. And it's not like I think Kirk Cousins could, I don't know what kind of value he would bring to like a different team, but maybe like a team like San Francisco is interested in him and they somehow make a trade. I know he's got like a pretty fresh contract, so I'm not sure how cap space works with that either, but they're a team that could you imagine like them coming up for like Justin Fields, how just insane that offense would be? Just Fields, having Justin Jefferson, Cook. That's a fun offense. But I don't know. I think they're like a sleeper team that nobody's talking about that potentially could. Because I think they're right there in the middle spot, aren't they? Like
14.
I want to say like 14 or something.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going back to like 22 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Is Cousins on his last year? Is this his last year?
No,
I thought he had like 2 more, but maybe not.
I'll check right now.
If he does, it may be an early buyout after this year. Maybe.
My apologies, guys. I don't really think about Kirk Cousins very often.
Yeah, I try not to. Yeah, as little as possible. I think
that's a lie.
Yeah.
He does have 2 years. So they cannot cut him this year, but if they cut him next year, they save $35 million against the cap.
All
That's
right.
going to happen.
I like how you pretended to look that up, Adnan. Like you didn't just have it on the top of
Just
your
had it. We had it on a note card. Yeah.
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 There's a
and
little Kirk Cousins shrine on the other side of that computer. We know that.
That's 35 million. Hey, I do think he's a very good quarterback. I'm one of the Kirk Cousins truthers, but that's 35 million pre June 1st. Post June 1st, they can save up to $40 million.
That makes sense. Evan's point makes sense. Going up,
Yeah.
a guy like Lance maybe or Fields, have him sit a year and have your quarterback ready to go in 2020.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, and like honestly, like we don't really know. Like I know how we think about the quarterbacks, and like I've often said this. Like I'm not a quarterback expert. I grade quarterbacks by like watching them and my gut telling me how I think they're gonna do. I don't like really look at like, oh, this is a great throwing motion, or like, oh, his footwork is impeccable. Like no, I leave that to the smarter people like Derek Klassen and the evaluators at TDN. Like that's not really my forte, but. People are all over the place in these quarterbacks. Everyone thinks Trevor Lawrence is number one, unless you're a fool. I have someone in mind who thinks that Zach Wilson's above Trevor Lawrence, and
The Jets.
Well, I'm sure the Jets. Yes, I was talking about Twitter prognosticators, but yes, the Jets obviously have Zach Wilson. Yes, number one. They might even trade up, to make sure they can draft him in front of the Jaguars just to make sure. But we don't really know. Like Daniel Jeremiah, a very respected NFL scout. He has Lance ahead of Fields, which is crazy to me. But teams are going to have Lance high, teams are going to have Wilson high, and teams are going to have Fields high. It's really going to depend on what they're looking for, and we don't really know. Like I think basically everyone just assumes it's Lawrence Fields / Wilson and then Lance. But some teams it might be Lance at 2, or it might be Fields at 2, or Wilson at 2, or so on. So I don't know. Depending on how the first 2 or 3 picks go could matter a lot, because if Minnesota wants Fields and Fields goes at 3, the Dolphins trade out, then it's like, oh, well, Minnesota's not interested in 4 anymore. But if they wanted Lance and Lance went at 3, then it's like, oh, well, maybe they don't want it now. So we just don't know, but it's going to be wild. It's going to be totally wild.
How do you think not having a combine would affect that? Because usually that can like switch around a couple of players, but it's like Lance, who played one game this year. He's not going to have a combine. Like he'll have, I guess, a pro day. But
so the real question with that is, do we think any of these guys would have even shown up to a combine? Because the top quarterbacks don't. So I can almost, of course, Lawrence wouldn't have been going to the combine because he, just had surgery. I'm pretty positive Justin Fields wouldn't have also. Maybe Trey Lance would have shown up because of the fact that he really didn't have a season this year. He had 1 game. But that's about it. So I don't even know if having a combine in these circumstances would have pandemic.
Yeah. I don't think it matters.
So it probably would have just
I don't think any of
it probably would have benefited like Mac Jones, like the guy who's outside trying to get in more than anybody.
Right, but the Senior Bowl, maybe did that for him. I don't know, but
But I think it prevents the teams from being overthinkers, right? Too, like that's the one thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just us as analysts and looking at this from the outside, but like it feels like there's always players that get to the combine and they look awesome for one shining afternoon, and it affects the way teams think about them. It certainly affects the way we think about them. So not having that combine, maybe these guys that normally would be workout warriors and affect their draft stock that way just can't do it.
Yeah. No, that is important to know, and like it's going to be a weird year because of that. We've heard some buzz that like teams might be trying to get 2022 draft capital because they don't trust their evals this year, which I think is foolish. Like you should be basing your grades off of the film. You don't need to see these guys run around in shorts at the combine. You can talk to them on Zoom, So, if you're feeling like you can't trust your eval because you can't watch somebody do the underwear Olympics, I think you're a shitty scout. You should know, 80% of your eval is the tape, and then you talk to them to make sure they're not literally insane people. And then you go from there. But, maybe I don't know anything. Maybe the underwear Olympics is the most important thing in the world. But it's fun to watch. I mean, I'm going to miss it, but should it have really affected things as much as it usually does? Probably not,
It definitely affects the
It does. It does. It does affect things. Yeah.
There's some guys who really needed a combine this year. Gregory Russo is one that comes to mind. I felt like he would have been one of the better performers at the combine, and it kind of hurts that he didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Parsons is another one. I think he could have used the combine just from the interview standpoint.
Right.
But yeah, as far as teams go, I don't think it's going to really kill him a whole lot.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. So it's just interesting. It'll be a weird year because of that, but it's different scouting. The Falcons are going to have different people calling the shots. It's going to be a wild offseason. So I don't really know what they're going to do. Obviously, none of us do, but I think it seems like the slight majority think that we're getting a quarterback. Maybe 3 out of 4 think we're getting a quarterback. Dave seems to think that quarterback might be outside of the first round, whereas I think Adnan and I think it's going to be quarterback at 4. Eric is kind of more open-ended about where he sits on that, but it could be any of those things, and we just don't really know. So we're really just guessing, which is fun, but it's not based on anything other than our intuition, which sometimes has been right, but just as often is not right. That's how intuition goes. So, but yeah, do you guys have any final takes about that before we get into our live mock draft here? I know folks are excited for that. So, anything else you want to talk about regarding Atlanta's potential offseason plans and the like?
The only thing that I'd add is I think there will be a ton of teams burning up the phone to potentially get to number 4. But I think we've seen this in the past where there's a lot of speculation about who's going to move up for what. And some years it's crazy and a lot of things flip, and some years nothing happens at all. So, it's certainly possible that Atlanta gets a lot of decent deals and just feels better about whoever they're getting at number 4. So I'm just restating the fact that we don't know anything and anything could happen. So let's get to the draft. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, and like someone, Shadow Falcon mentioned it, and I think it does make a lot of sense that, how they go about things in free agency probably is going to clue us in to their intentions. Like if they go, hog wild, just doing a ton of backloaded deals and like going after all these free agents, like and acting like they're basically loading up. It's basically, I think, sending the message that they're probably going to roll with Ryan at least for a few more years because, they're making all these investments, all of these big contracts. It's kind of going to make it harder for this 2022 reboot, to happen if you've got all this money tied up already. So if they do that sort of thing, probably going to lean more towards Matt Ryan. If they are very quiet in free agency, if they maybe make, one big investment or maybe a few choice ones, but otherwise try to kind of keep their cap intact, not really do too much backloading, not too many restructures. Obviously, if they restructure Matt Ryan's contract, that means they're keeping him. So, there's not really any other way to say that. So if they make a move that obvious, which I don't think they will before the draft, but if they were to, that would tell us a lot. Then we might lean more towards quarterback at 4. So we'll see what they do. Just about a month, I guess, now until free agency kicks off. So it's going to be an exciting time. But let's jump into a live 7-round mock draft. Guys, if you have specific draft questions or anything like that, you could throw them in the chat. We'll try to get to some. If you absolutely have to have it answered, you can send it in via donation, the link to which is in the show description, and it pops up here in this little middle crawl every so often as well. So we do appreciate your support there if you guys are feeling spicy. So, all right. So let me see if my little thing.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Mods are asleep. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
For now,
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
So this is a perfect chance to talk about space. Let's talk about space, guys.
Yeah, let's talk about the new Falcoholic pyramid scheme we have going on.
The new Falcons.
You can't call it a pyramid scheme or people won't buy into it. It's an investment opportunity. You
Yeah,
get in
well-
at the ground floor and you can be up here with Eric and Evan and Kevin and Adnan very
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah,
We're not that high up.
yeah. We're like,
Well, but
it's like a building, and we're like,
We're in the lobby.
yeah.
you guys are taking Drew Brees' Advocare course tomorrow because you're not selling this.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, it is fixed, guys. Yes, sorry about that. For some reason, when I changed over. Yeah. Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, everyone on the show could hear us, but
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
we almost got them to buy in, Kevin.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I appreciate that quick thinking
was-
by you guys there. But
That
no,
was some
yeah,
great salesmanship. Yeah.
yeah, excellent job. Yeah, no, but this is our mock draft machine set up here with TDN's mock draft machine. We will see who they have on the board. I think you guys can see the players that are available. We'll go through the positions and all that good stuff, and we will kind of jointly make the picks. We'll talk about it. If you guys, like I said, have any questions, you can send them in. We'll try to get to what we can. All that good stuff. So I will kick us off. We are, for those of you that are actually on the show, if you open up the our show, you can see the full board. Like if you open up YouTube of our show, you should be doing this already to help pump up our numbers. We really need those 3 extra viewers, but
And they all
push
they all
us
make
over
a
the
difference.
top. Yeah, just to push us over
If
the
they
top.
buy in today, then
Yeah.
yes, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we'll all become rich eventually. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a team game.
Exactly.
It is.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
We just need you guys to sign up some friends and family, and then we'll just go from there.
I've been here for 15 years and I'm not rich yet, but I know that day is coming.
It's coming. You just got to keep putting in the work, Dave. You just got to keep putting in the work. So.
It's happening.
All right. So I don't believe we're interested in trading up into the top 3, right, guys? We're happy to stay at 4 until we get on the clock.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Eric's getting spicy. What, you got to take it? You gotta take it? Yeah.
This is actually like Scooby-Doo. If you take off Eric's mask, it's Thomas Dimitrov.
He's
He
been
escaped
talking
from the
about
closet.
bicycling a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I was confused when I started seeing all these Tour de France gifs showing up on Eric's Twitter feed, but now I get it. So
I'm gonna miss that broom closet joke.
Yeah.
Broom closet joke.
yeah, hopefully we'll have some new material with Terry Fontenot if he does something silly. But maybe he would even consider talking to us at one time. That would be nice. As long as he doesn't,
That'll be a change.
yeah, as long as he doesn't ostracize us from the Falcons, I'll be pretty satisfied with Terry Fontenot. So he doesn't have a high bar to clear for me.
Yeah, it's a low bar to set.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
that's what we do.
The
here, guys.
Falcoholic. Low
Yep.
bar set.
All right, so we're gonna run the draft up until the Falcons pick here. All right, 1 minute. All right, so let's see. Okay, so so for those that didn't see, we had kind of a wild start. I believe we got. Hold on, I can't actually see the picks here. What have you done? Well, I know we had Jamar Chase go, and then we had another player go. I think it was a quarterback.
What'd you say? PFF.
Yeah, but it got blasted because 2 teams immediately called us to trade when we got to pick 4. So did you guys want to see what the offer? You want me to tell you what the offers are?
Yes, I will
Yes.
reject them, but yes.
Yes. So the Bengals apparently want our pick. They're willing to trade 1 and then a 3rd. So I think we could probably do better.
No.
Yeah. The Lions are also interested. Were willing to give up 7, their 2nd and their 3rd to move up to 4. So
A little better, but no.
Let's get.
Wait.
Yeah. Let's
hold on. We can discuss it. We got 10 minutes on the clock. It's the first round. Yeah.
Your
We can
initials
also-
are AI, not GM. So let's slow down.
Yeah.
Those the only 2 offers?
Those are the only 2 that we got. We can call teams to negotiate. We could also make a counter offer to them as well.
Call the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe they'll buy into our pyramid scheme too. They're that desperate.
They might.
They might. That's built into the simulator.
Yeah. Well, if we know the
I'll be
Lions are
out of the
willing,
simulator.
yeah. If we know the Lions are willing to do 1, 2, and their first, second, and third, I think we can just call them back and offer it if we need to. So
They're just wanting 4. They're not wanting an extra pick.
yeah, they just want 4, and they're willing to give us 7th, their second, and their third.
Let's poll the viewers as well.
Get a poll in here.
Can you look at who? Can you go back to the draft board, or would it cancel out of that trade?
Do we not have 10? We have 10 minutes, right?
We can always offer them, so I think it's fine. I think we can always call them. If they've offered us that, I think we know they'll accept that. So yeah. So we did have a bit of an interesting scenario here where the Jets took Jamar Chase at 2, and then the Dolphins took Penei Sewell at 3. So that means that there are multiple QBs on the board for the Falcons, including Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. The next highest players on the board would be Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Kyle Pitts. Offensive weapons there. Obviously, Surtain, Farley, Trey Lance also available.
I'll take that. I'll take that trade.
Well, I mean, we could also call some other people and see what they want and see if anyone else is interested. We could.
Are we seriously going to call the Bears?
Well, I mean, I was thinking
should.
we could. I mean, I was thinking of calling, maybe Denver, seeing what they're interested in doing, or starting with Denver maybe.
Let's call Denver and see what they get. But I think moving down to 7 with the way the draft's unfolding feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call Denver first. So we're gonna offer them, number 1. We're gonna offer them the 4th overall pick. Obviously, we want 9, and then we probably want their second and
which 30 or 41, right?
Yeah, 41.
I want their first next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let me see.
Yep.
For Denver, I want Denver's first, second, 4th this year, and 1st for next year.
And I want Elway's Super Bowl ring. The one from 98. Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got, it actually tells us how likely they are to accept it as well. So we have Denver's first, which is 9th, Denver's second, which is 41, a 2022 first from Denver, and then...
And a 4th. Get another pick for this year. Give me the 4th.
And then the 2021 4th. It says it's likely that they will accept. So do we want to make that offer?
Well, wait. Can we make an offer to the Lions asking for their first next year?
We could see. I mean, I think
can we make 2 offers at once, or can we have that one as pending, as we don't want to do it yet, but we can call someone else.
I think if we send it and they accept it, then we have to trade with them. Now we can go in and look at some other trade scenarios.
Yeah.
This is the first pick. We can spend way more time on this pick because this is going to be the pick we're probably going to be trading. The other ones are probably not going to trade. So we can spend as much time as we need to on this. So how about so the simulator thinks it's likely that we'll be able to get Denver's first, which is 9th, their 2022 first, and then also their 2021 second and 4th. So it says they're likely to accept that trade.
Okay.
So
you got to do
know
it.
we know that's on the table.
Yeah.
We can look at
but let's see with Detroit. Let's see if we can get their first next year, their third this year, and
if we can't, just counter offer them the first for next year. If we can't get it, let's take Denver's deal.
Yeah, because as Awkward Stretch said in the chat, if we're thinking QB, we got to stay in front of Panthers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we don't care about that, then let's just go for Denver. But we should try to squeeze more out of
the
Lions.
Yeah. So for the Lions, we want the Lions first, right? Not the Rams first from 2022.
Yeah, definitely the Lions first.
Yeah.
It says it's very unlikely.
The Rams are definitely going to be worse. But,
It says it's very
unlikely.
unlikely that they'll trade there first. And it's unlikely they'll trade the Rams first next year.
And there's a chance.
Well,
You probably have to move the 3rd or something.
We probably have to. Well, just now, with the Lions, it's they are.
They're going to say no?
Yeah, it seems like they're going to say no. So
okay. Do you guys want
we do Denver.
Do you guys want to
Yeah, I like the Denver offer, honestly.
To me, best player available in this case is the chance to pick more great players. So let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want quarterback, but I'm being outvoted, so let's take the Denver.
As the noted Matt Ryan hater of this group, I think I understand where you're coming from, but
Yeah, I'm not helping that case with this episode.
no.
All right, so we're going to make the offer for Denver's first this year, which is 9th overall, their second, which is 41st overall, their fourth, which is 114th overall, and then a 2022 first. All right, we'll send the offer.
I do that trade all the time on PFF, and it always goes through.
They have accepted our offer, so there we go. So we have traded down as the Falcons.
Look at it this way, too. Like, I don't think Denver is good enough to be picking any higher than the middle of the first round next year.
Yeah.
And so that's another quality pick. So to me, that's worth it when you try to build.
Especially if they don't bring back Von Miller.
At worst,
which they might not.
So at worst,
we just did something they haven't done since 1997.
Yeah.
At worst, they're a top 15 selection next year, right, Denver? So.
All right. So.
Right there.
Yeah, I agree.
So we still have quarterbacks on the board. We have Trey Lance available. There are other teams that that still might be interested in trading again. I don't know if the Falcons would
oh my goodness.
pass on Lance again at this point.
Wait,
But,
Lance is on the board?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, take him.
No, I don't. I don't
So
pass on
Denver-
Lance.
So Denver traded up for Surtain. Devontae went 5th. Jalen Waddle went 6th.
What?
Wait, Denver
getting
traded up
wild.
for Surtain?
Yeah.
For Surtain, yeah. Caleb Farley went 7th, and the Panthers took Zach Wilson. So Fields
is available too. Yeah.
Fields is still there.
Yeah, the authenticity of this mock has been killed for me.
And the reason you would take this is because, or you would take Lance or Fields, probably Fields, is because now you have those extra first round picks. So if for some reason Fields is a bust or something in the first year and you want to roll the dice again, you have the extra picks to try and go up for a quarterback next year if you liked. But it's more comfortable, I think.
So I agree with Adnan in that maybe I think it's very unlikely that Fields is here. But I think if we take Lance, assuming that Fields probably isn't here in this scenario, then I feel like it would be authentic still.
I guess Lance and Fields were caught videotaped with a gas mask on draft
well,
night.
who was it? Daniel Jeremiah or whatever who had Fields at 10 or 12? Wasn't that the mock you were talking about earlier, Kevin?
Yes.
So I mean,
for those who don't want a quarterback, I don't see how you cannot take a quarterback in a situation like this. You got to take one, man.
This gives everyone the best of both worlds, but like I said, the authenticity has been killed for me.
Well, I think if we I don't think Fields is going to be here, but I think Lance could be. So I think if we take Lance, I feel like it's legit. But I think if we were to take Fields, it'd be very much wishful thinking. So
we can take Lance. That's fine.
But wild stuff happens on
Falcons
draft
fans.
night. So wild stuff is going to happen. Remember, there haven't been a quarterbacks haven't gone 1, 2, 3 since what? The 2000s. I mean, it's been a long time. Quarterbacks haven't gone 1, 2, 3, 4, even longer than that. I don't think ever. So we assume that's what's going to happen now, but weird things are going to happen. So I think that if we take Lance, we can say this is still fine. We'll just assume that Fields probably went early. I don't think Denver's trading for Patrick Surtain. I assume that they took Fields there. I mean, maybe Denver's stupid enough to trade up for Patrick Surtain. I don't know, but I don't care. They gave us their picks. I don't care what they do at this point. So
it's possible because Philly does have interest in Surtain, so they may be leapfrogging Philly or Cincinnati. Cincinnati as well. They don't. So that's possible for Denver.
Yeah. I wouldn't talk myself into justifying this. I don't think there's any chance they're moving up to 4 for Surtain.
No, I don't think so. So I think if we assume that they took Fields at 4 instead, and we take Lance here, I think I can be kosher with this draft. So how do you feel?
Or
about
we
that?
can keep trading down and get Fields at 31.
Yeah, I mean we could.
Who was at 10?
Who was at 10?
Dallas.
Dallas is at 10. Yeah.
I don't know. Should we start trying to trade back just like?
I mean, we could try to trade back like
11?
crazy. I mean, teams were calling to trade up with us again. So
Let's take Lance. Let's just take Lance.
Or we could go a whole new way with this entire mock draft and just see how many picks we can accumulate.
Just like the absurdity of it all. Well, I'm
So-
still at least attempting to be weird with it, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's two schools of thought here. Either, we can be like lawful good and say we should take Lance because realistically he might be here, or we can be like, can we get 20 picks and still pick Fields at 31? I'm asking the question.
Look, I mean, if you guys want to try to trade down with somebody and keep this train rolling, I'm not going to say no at this point. So,
Let's go with the Patriots so they can trade up for Najee Harris, which is what's going to happen.
So should we call the Patriots and see if they want to trade up?
I guarantee you, this would be the only mock draft of its kind on Falcons on Falcons YouTube.
It's gonna be wild.
And Falcons streaming.
Look, I mean, we might as well just embrace the chaos at this point, right? So let's call the Patriots. Let's see if they want to trade up.
We're just throwing everything out the window right now.
Well,
absolutely.
As
soon as Surtain went 4, everything went out the window for me.
Yeah, we're here to have a good time, folks.
Let's think about Terry Fontenot in this impossible situation. What would he do?
He'll take Trey
Would
Lance.
he be like...
He'd take Fields, but
he'd definitely take Fields.
Yes.
Yeah, but
everyone's brains are broken, and so maybe he'd assume that he could keep trading down and get Fields at 31.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying. All right, so let's see.
Hey, Vontae Mack, no matter what.
So I think we could get the Patriots third if we traded down again, but that's probably as much as we could get.
That's kind of light.
It's a little light.
In my opinion.
We should probably just take Lance and
all right. Let's take
real.
Lance and try to salvage this.
Hold on, I want to see what the Bears would offer though, real quick. I just need to know. We have to do our due diligence here.
Parsons is also available, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
All right, so we want 20. We want 52. We want 83. We could get like almost the Bears' entire draft this year.
Hey, let's offload some of those, because I know the Falcons do have are comp picks included in this.
Yes. I don't know if they're 100% updated to like the most recent projections, but they are included.
Let's offload 218. I don't want that. That's a 6-rounder.
Right. So let's see. We could get. Hold on. I want to see if what we can do here. So we could get the Bears. We could get their first round pick, their second round pick, their third round pick, their fifth round pick, and their sixth round pick to trade down to 20.
Dude. Okay, like there's no realistic element at all.
No, that would be total absurdity. Yes. So you guys just want to take Lance then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
I am fully on board with going right into the chaos, so you don't have to listen to me because I want to see how far this goes. But
I mean, we should do one like that. We should do that one time at least, like do like a total absurd draft. But all right, we'll do Lance to try to preserve some semblance of realistic,
some sense of dignity.
Yeah, some sense of dignity for this. We'll stay for now. We take the high road. Okay, for now we take the high road. All right, we take Lance at 9. So now it's going to run until our next pick, which will be in the second round. Justin Fields does go 12 to San Francisco, by the way, in this simulation, which would be all right. So I guess the Bears are offering us their first rounder in exchange for our second, our fourth, and our fifth. So if we wanted to get another first round pick, we could jump up for our. We have an extra second from Denver, but they want our second, 36, our fourth, and our fifth, and we could get another first round pick.
I would actually do that.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Can we look at the draft board?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold on, wait. So, okay, our second, a fourth, and a fifth. We only have 1/4, right? Just 1/4 and 1/5.
1/4, and I think we have 3/5 because we have the two comps. Yeah.
Cool.
This would also be a Bears first.
Yeah.
But we'll
That's
still
gonna
have
be
a
a
second.
good first rounder next
Well,
year.
it's their current. So they want us to take their 20th overall pick this year.
Oh,
So we get a
okay.
second
Right.
first rounder, and they want.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, they're offering us this pick because they want to trade down, probably because the quarterbacks are gone.
Get our second,
Mm-hmm.
but we still have a second.
Yes, we have the one from
Right,
Denver.
from the
Yeah.
first trade.
Yeah.
Take our fourth, but we still have.
We'll still
two
have at
other-
least 1/5. I think maybe even 2/5.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
we get
Yes.
another first here.
Yes.
That's spicy. I'm into it. Let's do it.
Hell yes.
Let's do it. All right. So, top players available on the board: Travis Etienne, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, J.C. Horn. Let me scroll down a little bit to see what options we get. So Joseph Osai, Gregory Rousseau, Jalen Phillips.
Ooh, I would go Rousseau right here.
I would definitely go with Rousseau right here.
Yeah.
That would be pretty spicy. I'm into it.
I mean, he's a guy that over time
Over time,
could be
man.
legitimately great.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
Miles Garrett ceiling with that. He just needs time and proper coaching, and this guy can be a pro.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about getting Lance and Rousseau in the same draft.
Yeah. If they would build a statue to Terry Fontenot for this.
Good.
Yeah, and then you still have your second. You still
You
have
still
like
have
a
the
second
Bears
rounder
second.
left.
Yeah. You still have the Bears second. Yeah.
The Broncos
So-
second.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Broncos. Yeah. Yeah. I'm down for Rousseau. You guys want Rousseau?
Let's go.
Do it.
Spicy. I'm a big fan. All right. Here we go.
Bears
Yeah.
trade back? For
Yeah,
what?
they traded back probably because there were no quarterbacks left, so they just wanted to move.
Well,
They need
no,
help receiver. And
we'll have to send a copy of this video to the Falcons front office and Flowery Branch.
Hey
immediately.
guys, yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So
They'll
apparently
probably block us from everything.
we've got some
Hey, we
some
did a
more
lot for
offers.
y'all.
We've got more trade offers, guys. So we're at 41 now. We have Denver's second. So the Raiders are offering us their second in addition to a fifth and a seventh to trade up. That would be we'd be dropping 8 spots. That's not super interesting
No.
to me. The Ravens, however, are offering us their third and their 2022 second or 2022 seventh for us to drop down to 59, which would be like a 18 spot drop. But we would pick up their third at 104.
Let's stay.
Yeah, let's stay.
Yeah,
Let's stay.
yeah.
All
So
right.
who's top players?
Javonte Williams is the top player remaining.
Man, you might have sold me right there.
I mean, I'm a big Javonte Williams fan. Trayvon Moehrig, the safety, is also still here.
Ooh.
Asante Samuel Jr. Azeez
Yep.
Ojulari.
That's
Yeah.
my pick. That's my pick. You gotta get the guy that makes me feel impossibly old. Come on.
Wyatt Davis. The Ohio State
Dave, I
guard.
thought I did enough of that in the chat.
That's another.
You're gonna have to work a little harder to move past Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah, you're right. This would be an every week thing. You just see him
Yeah.
in the starting lineup every week. Like,
I'm either
That's a tough call.
I'm either on board with Samuel or Wyatt Davis.
Yeah. I like
I
Javonte
like
Williams
Moehrig.
too. I like Moehrig too. I like all those guys, honestly. Man, Javonte
Well,
Williams.
let's talk about it. So I don't want to break this down into a positional need piece because the Falcons have said best guy available, but when there's a little bit of fuzziness on that, like, do we think solving that guard spot's the most important thing? Do we think getting that number 2 corner? What do we think?
Yeah, I mean, we
So
don't
that-
know what
well-
they've done in free agency at this point, so that's one caveat because they will probably fill one of these holes in free agency, one of them, but we don't know which one.
But if we're talking value, Asante Samuel is if Asante Samuel was 6'2", 220 or 210
Oh, yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah,
he'd
he'd be like a
automatically
top 10 pick. Yeah,
he'll be a first rounder. He just has to deal with the size issues, but he can play in zone and man. I think right now Samuel offers you more versatility than anybody on the board because he can play on the boundary, he can play slot, he can play zone and man, and he can play on either side of the field.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like Mark, but it's not gonna take me much convincing right now. I mean, any of these picks would be great. Like I'm down to take
Yeah.
Samuel.
Yeah, I'll take
Me too.
Yeah, I'm also always down to make Dave feel old.
And just for the sake of the argument, like obviously Williams we all like, but there's other running backs down the board. Not as great, but like in terms of Samuel, you're not going to find anything near him, right?
Right. I mean,
so
like
that's why
Eric, like Eric Stokes is still here, but after him,
like,
it really drops off.
So pretty much BPA, but at the positions we actually need.
Yeah.
Which is,
well, the other thing is too is like I know people argue this for days, but like you can get a great running back, and I have a suspicion the next time we pick, there'll still be a good running back available.
I think the next 3 times we pick, there will be a good running back available. And we love Javonte. Like, I love Javonte. He's great, but
guard is deep, running back is deep. Safety not so much, but again, I think Samuel is closer to a first-round player out of all those guys you named. So I'll go with
I think.
Okay.
He's my pick. And I, it's past my bedtime, so, Adnan,
all right. Asante Samuel Jr. will be our second rounder. Let's do it.
Plus, I want to see Asante shut down Michael Thomas twice a year and get all up in his grill, and because he's a feisty dog.
Yeah.
Asante.
We need our own Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Exactly. That's
Let's see. The Bears are offering us their second, which is 52, in exchange for our third and fourth.
No, go away.
Go away, Bears. We already traded down with you once. Get out of here. Get out of here.
They're so thirsty.
They're thirsty.
Got to the state, idiots. This is a hell of a draft.
This is getting spicy.
This is crazy, yeah.
So this one's a little bit more interesting. The Colts want to trade with us now. So they'll give us their second and their sixth, and we give them our fourth, our fifth, a seventh, and a 2022 third, and we get their second rounder. I don't know if we need to jump up necessarily.
No, I'll stay put. We're in the top half of the third. We're in the top half of the third.
We're still in the we're in the top half of the third. So I mean, it's
giving up too much.
But this doesn't require us to give up our third. This trade.
What are we giving up?
Our fourth, a fifth, a seventh, and a 2022 third, and we get their second and a sixth.
Just to come up how many spots?
16, 15 spots?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could talk to me and say the value's there, but
I think the value is good here. But it would be like we pick at 53, then we pick again at 68, and we give up a fourth, a fifth, a seventh, and then next year's third.
But then
I wouldn't do it.
After that 68, we don't pick for another 60 something picks, 70 something.
It would be a while. Well, we have multiple fifths, but yeah, I mean, I think we got an extra fourth from Denver though, right? So we would still have a fourth, I believe.
I mean, unless there's somebody you absolutely want on the board.
Who's on the board?
I mean, I can't really that's the problem with this trade pop-up. I can't see who's available.
Better.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait. We can do counter offer, and it'll let me see who's available. Never mind, I was wrong. Okay, so Jason Owa is here. Levi Onwuzurike, Richie Grant, Dylan Moses, Javon Holland.
Richie Grant still there?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested.
All right, guys. You guys got to convince me. Why not?
Let's see.
I don't want to give up that third next year.
Understand.
That's the essence of it. To me, you have to convince me that Grant and it's not that I'm not convinced. I've enjoyed reading your thoughts on Grant. I think he's a good player. Is he worth potentially 2 or 3 good players?
I think he's the best safety in the draft.
All right. Well, there you go.
I think he is, but he's not going to be. He doesn't have the athleticism or the size frame that Trayvon Moorick has from TCU, but just in terms of ball skills and instincts and versatility, I think he's the best safety in the draft.
Kevin, what does it say where it said like likelihood and stuff? What does that say? It's just too small for me to
Yeah, it's
like that. Can you counter and maybe get rid of one of those picks so it doesn't like what they initially wanted?
And we offer them like a 4th next year instead of the 3rd.
Possibly. Let's see if we can do that instead. Maybe they'll,
because they're all in on this trade, so maybe they accept something similar.
Yeah, that they don't like that as much. I think they want the 3rd next year to make this work.
What if you remove one of the? Because what was it, 4, 6, and 7 or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we take off our 7th, they don't really care. So we could probably recoup our 7th. Yeah, and I took off the 6th too. So yeah, so I think.
In that case, I'd do it. I mean, if Grant is as good as Eric thinks he's going to be, then that's worth it to me.
Yeah.
So what does it seem like?
So it's going to be our 4th, which is 114, and then it'll be 5th, our 5th, which is 181, and then our 2022 3rd in exchange for 53 and Indy's 6th.
So we still have Denver's 4th, right?
I guess this is Denver's 4th. We must have traded away our 4th at some point.
At 114, that should be ours. At 114.
No, didn't we trade it away in that Bears pick to move up to 20?
Yeah, maybe we did. Maybe we did.
Okay.
Guys, we are not qualified to run a front office. Is what I'm getting out of this.
We're just too much deliberation. There's too much deliberation going on. Let's do this for Grant because I think Grant is a game changer.
In our defense, I'm pretty sure this is some of exactly what goes on in some war rooms.
Definitely.
Based on stories I've heard, yes.
We're getting phone calls like every 10 seconds from like 15 different people. All right, let's see if they accept this without the 7th.
Plus, we have a good draft so far.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to kill.
I don't think we.
All right, yeah, so they did accept, so we got to recoup a pick by doing a counteroffer, so good job, guys. All right. So now we are on the clock. We're going to take Richie Grant here.
Just for the people in the chat, somebody said, who do we draft far?
Yeah.
Can you look at that real quick?
Let's show you guys. Yeah. So Trey Lance, after we traded down we traded from 4 to 9 to take Trey Lance at 9. We then traded up from 36 to draft Gregory Rousseau at 20. And then we took Asante Samuel Jr., the cornerback, at 41 with one of the picks we got from Denver. So we have now traded up again with, this time we traded up with the Colts to draft Richie Grant here towards the back of the 2nd round to really, just get wild with it.
Rousseau, Asante, and Richie Grant.
Yes. Yeah. And shout out to George Costanza, by the way, for the $3 donation. Thank you, bud. I will read off his quote here as soon as we finish up with the mock draft. Appreciate you, brother, for your support. We got Richie Grant right here. All right.
That is it. Like that haul alone. I know it can't happen, but it would make me so happy.
Yeah, that would
whatever
be wild,
they did
man.
The rest of the way. Whatever, you know.
Totally wild, man. Totally wild, but.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a post-draft press conference.
Yeah, he just drops the mic.
Yeah. Mono has a cigar in that one. He's just. What's your question?
Right.
I think with our 3rd, I think we need to target best guard available or best running back available.
All right, so right now we've got.
I agree, unless there's somebody crazy.
Yeah, so right now we've got Chaz Surratt is the best player
Is Justin
available.
Fields still on the board?
No. Unfortunately, he went just before our pick. Yeah, sadly. So Chaz Surratt is the best player available right now, according to the board. We've also got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We've got Tommy Tagai, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. Deontay Brown from Alabama, the offensive lineman. He's a guard. I don't actually know that much about Brown, but he's huge. I know that. But Marlon Tupalatu, also defensive tackle. Hamilcar Rashed Jr., Brevin Jordan, Tommy Tremble at tight end, Josh Myers from Ohio State.
All right, hear me out, guys. Two tight end sets. It's a staple.
Right. It is. It is very important for his offense.
Brevin Jordan here.
It could be. I
Sure.
mean, it could be. Unless you like I think Josh Myers is the only one I was really.
But he's more of a natural center.
He is more of a center. It's true.
So this could go well if you want to kick Hennessy to left guard, which you technically kill two birds in one stone with this pick.
Yeah.
Because you slide Hennessy to guard where he's played and he can play, and then you get a natural center in Josh Myers.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I like the Brevin Jordan better. That one seems spicier. It fits with the It seems with the spicy theme of this mock. Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Because he does, we talked about this on another show. Like, Arthur Smith used two tight end, 12 personnel at the highest rate of any offensive coordinator in the NFL. He targeted the tight end in the passing game at the third most rate in the NFL. So the tight end is very important to him. Obviously we have Hurst, but Brevin Jordan could be an option to deploy some very dangerous two tight end sets and potentially take over for Hurst on the cheap.
Well, and that was the piece that I was going to talk about too, is Hurst is not guaranteed to be here beyond next year. So I'm totally in favor. It doesn't feel like a position they're going to address in free agency.
Yeah.
So it feels like this will have to be it.
And Brevin Jordan, hell of a receiving threat. I think you guys, in terms of just the receiving aspect, he could surpass Hayden Hurst by season's end. I mean,
and let's also just pretend like we got Tooney in free agency. So
Yeah, that's what I'm operating. Yeah, I'm operating under the assumption we got Joe Tooney. Let's go ahead and say that. Yeah. Let's just assume that we got Joe Tooney. Yeah, because if we're gonna be spicy, let's make it even spicier with that prediction as well. So, I like. See, this is the type of pick they can make because they were able to pick up that additional draft capital. Like, if we had 3 picks up till this point and a quarterback at 1, we'd be like, oh, we probably have to take a safety here. We have to take a safety here or something like that.
This is also falls in line with that whole BPA approach.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a need. It's just looking at the board and saying, hey, man, you're adding a dynamic receiving threat to your offense because they need to supply that line with some tools, with some assets this offense.
Yeah,
and this is one way. I would love that.
Yeah, I think that's really exciting. Let's do Jordan here, Brevin Jordan. So, all right, exciting stuff. So I think it might be a minute before we pick again now.
Hey man, you know what? That might be fine, but look at those first 5.
I mean, with those 5 picks, does it matter if we pick ever again in this trip?
Those first 5 picks, man. You can. Dude, I'm busting out the Jack Daniels.
Right.
Yeah. I think the one thing is, I feel like they might do guard in free agency. I don't feel like running back is going to be addressed. I feel like we got to get that still. That's the only need that I think we got to hit.
Yeah, that's the only thing we've kind of waited on. So we'll see what kind of stuff is going to be available when we pick again here in the next 20 or 30 picks. It's probably not going to be the most high-end guys that people might have been hoping for, but hopefully someone will still be there, someone interesting.
We're not back in until the 5th round, right?
Right.
I don't know about you guys, but unless there's a can't miss guy prospect there, I'm thinking running back.
Yeah,
Same.
well, let's see what kind
it
of.
would be. It'll be a good bow wrapped on a nice draft.
That's a hell of a.
As it's going through, can you look at the running backs?
That's a hell of a.
Just to see who's.
Yeah,
I mean it won't throw anything off.
No, I mean, we're
I'm just curious.
We're scraping the
who's
barrel
still
here
coming.
with the running backs. We've got. I don't even know the next time we're picking. We traded away a lot of picks, so I don't know when the next time we're actually on the clock is.
Dude, that's a hell of a.
Who's the top one right now?
Puka Williams is the top one left.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Okay,
So
let's think about this then, guys. Let's think about them going the route of maybe bringing in a cheap veteran free agent like Marlon Mack this year.
Right. That could be an option.
Yeah.
Mike Davis or something.
Or we could get even spicier and assume that we traded a future pick for Derrick Henry.
Or we could get even spicier and assume that Keith Smith is our lead back.
Right. All right. So top running
Well, then
backs.
all of this is for naught.
Dave, that's not spicy at all, man. That's bland and
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
That's like a little bit of salt and pepper on it. It's spicy. Come on.
Yeah, it's very spicy.
Is that what you people from New Hampshire think of as spicy?
You know, the best part of this is you guys have been giving me shit for years about like all we eat up here is boiled dinners. And the last time I had dinner with my relatives, it was boiled dinner. So there you go.
Yeah.
That
So-
does explain it.
We do. I mean, there are some running backs here. Khalil Herbert from Virginia Tech. I think he's interesting. I don't know if he's like a super high-end starter, but he's someone that's interesting. Jamar Jefferson, as a change of pace guy. I mean, I think he's interesting. Chris Evans, Rakeem Boyd, Elijah Mitchell, CJ Verdell. Those are the running backs available. We also pick again in 7 picks, so keep that in mind.
All right, let's pick somebody else here.
Yeah. So the top players available, as they often are at this point in the draft, are wide receivers. Shai Smith, Josh Amadabibi, Simi Fehoko. Let's see. Reed Blankenship, the safety from Middle Tennessee. I do like him as well. Divine Diablo. There's some edge guys. Patrick Johnson, Wyatt Hubert, Malcolm Kuntz, Chauncey Golston.
any interior defensive lineman.
Bobby Brown the third, I think, is the next one on the list.
Hey, off the name alone.
Yeah, I mean the third. Yeah. Kyrus Tonga, I think, is someone who people maybe looked at as like a nose tackle. Naquan Jones as well.
I don't know. I'm thinking receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Amadabibi. I think he's like one of those really high-end boom bust guys. I mean, I think he's like just a wild athlete. Like,
is Austin Watkins still available?
yes, he is still available.
I like him.
I do like.
This is the point of the draft where I no longer have an informed opinion, so you guys go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I love Amadabibi. He's who I usually go at this point, but if we wanted to go in a different direction with like an Austin Watkins, we could too. But like if we're trying to game the system a little bit and we know that teams are going to draft off of this board, we could wait to draft Austin Watkins because he's 197 and he's got like 6 wide receivers ahead of him. So we could maybe wait until our next pick to draft him if we wanted to. But
But that's their board. I think Watkins is better than him.
well, yeah, I mean, he's better right now, certainly. I mean, BB is only higher because he's just a redonkulous athlete. And if he was at the combine, he'd probably be one of those guys that just randomly gets drafted in the 3rd round because he tested like as the best wide receiver at the combine. And just, he doesn't really have much tape, but let's see.
I say Austin. I will go Austin Watkins here, or I like Amir Smith-Marset out of Iowa.
Yeah, he's here too.
Another 6'2" deep threat. Really
Yeah.
good route runner. Also brings some value in a return game as well.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
kicker for Iowa also.
Yeah, we could go Smith-Marset or a Watkins. I don't know what your preference is there. I think I've taken Smith-Marset before.
I would, just for the aspect of the special teams aspect, I would like Smith-Marset.
Okay, I'm down. Let's do it. Smith-Marset there. We're going to be up again here shortly. All right, so wide receivers are still the top guys on the board. In terms of running back, we have a couple more picks, but if we want one of these running backs, like if we like one, like I'd be comfortable taking Jamar Jefferson here. I think he's good. I think he's definitely a pass catcher at worst. Like he's a 3rd down back basically at worst. So I'm happy with him. He's not necessarily a guy that you're like, oh, he's going to be our number 1 running back for like 5 years, but in the 6th round, pick 190. I mean, I think he's good value here, and they do need to add at least somebody else.
we're still going off the notion of Marlon Mack being the signing, the running back signing.
Maybe. Yeah, I think they need to add somebody in the draft.
You
I mean,
can't be worse than Todd Gurley this year.
Oh man, yeah. So I guess I would go Jamar Jefferson, but
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, just to get that running back in here, and we're up again in like 16 picks too. So
with that one, I would like to address get another edge rusher in. Can never have too many.
Yeah, maybe that or like a nose tackle.
Or nose, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few more picks still.
This is a great draft, man.
This is exciting. I'd be pretty. All right, so we do have some edge guys available. Austin Watkins also still here if we wanted to like double up on receivers.
I think we've addressed the passing game enough. I think
yeah, I think it would be hard to keep all those guys on the roster at this point. So.
Yeah.
All right, so Malcolm Kuntz and Chauncey Golston at edge. We've got Joshua Kando also. Got some corners. Elijah Griffin from USC. Let's see. Marco Wilson's still there too if people want to get really spicy.
I absolutely want that guy as our third string quarterback.
What about Darius Slayton out of Florida, the nose?
Let's see.
6'4", 340, just a big piece of meat.
I think he is already gone.
He's already gone? Damn.
Yeah.
I would have liked
I'm with Dave on this one.
Yeah.
We're late in the draft, and I've been full transparency. I've been watching the Hawks game the past.
That's fine. That's fine. It's like Eric and I just going back and forth. Yeah. If you want to know stuff,
this is usually that part. Oh, I was just gonna say this is usually that part in the draft where I'm laying on the couch like, oh, the Falcons are up, and I'm like, oh, I don't know who that guy is, but I'm gonna look into him.
No. What Evan means is that we're all like intently like analyzing and ready to write down some articles for the site at this point.
Oh yeah.
This is why I always ask who's going to cover day 3 with me, like a week in advance, because by the time you get there, you're like, shit, this is really boring.
What the fuck did I sign up for?
Yeah.
This is usually how it is on day 3 of the live draft shows anyway, where it's really Kevin.
This is just like the really hardcore. Hey, there's 116 people still here, so clearly there's some draft nerds out there that are still.
I don't think we've ever done a day 3. I think we've only done days 1 and 2.
Well, maybe this year we will. Yeah, maybe this year. Yeah.
But I mean, like I love it, and like I still get excited for these guys, but it's also like you're scrambling in real time to provide, something meaningful about a guy that you may have heard of. Like I remember being really excited the year they took Kamal Ishmael because I was like, I know this guy. Mm-hmm. Zake Mata too. That didn't work out quite as well, but nonetheless.
Yeah. All right. So for me, the two guys I'm looking at are Malcolm Kuntz, the edge from Buffalo. I think he's a solid developmental guy there, or Naquan Jones, the nose tackle from Michigan State. I think we're going to pick again at 218, which is 12 picks. So I think Kuntz is probably the higher rated. Kuntz is probably the higher rated player. So if we wanted to take him now,
I like Kuntz as a developmental guy.
They just need depth. They just need anybody.
Yeah, he's a depth guy. You're not going to expect much from him, but he brings really good athleticism to the table. I think he's 6'4", 250-ish.
That's what. I think Draft Network has him 6'3", 248. So
very fluid edge rusher. He wins with speed. He wins with speed and athleticism. Doesn't really have a multitude of moves right now. The production is not really on the board. The level of competition is always a question when it comes to it.
Yeah, I'm into it.
You need these guys going forward. I think that's something the Falcons haven't done a good job of, right? Is aside from maybe a handful of guys developing those guys over time. So
in fairness, the ones who have been good have been real contributors. Foy is going to be a starter. Russell Gage. I think Paisley.
In years
past, definitely. But like that position, in
years past, they've never really done this. They've always addressed it early, and then that's it. They don't bring.
Yeah. Again, full transparency. I thought you were just talking about late round guys in general. Again, I'm only half paying attention.
I'm good with.
Yeah, we'll do Kuntz. We'll do Kuntz here.
I'm just gonna say though, this is the problem with the youth.
This is the problem with the youths.
If you can't hold my attention, you only get 30 seconds of my attention.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
That's like one sentence for me. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Yep.
Yeah, if you can't hold it for that 30 seconds, then you've just lost me for the next week.
Yeah. All right.
Fair.
So
Fair.
It's we've got 2 picks left, including our 7th. So at this point, let's see. Yeah, it's all like just depth, guys.
Grab a linebacker.
Just because, yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, linebacker.
Grant Stewart, Derek Barnes, Buddy Johnson, Patty Fisher, Tuff Borland. Oh man, that dude sounds.
Patty Fisher, I like that name.
Yeah, Patty Fisher or Tuff Borland. Those are some pretty good names.
I wouldn't do Tough Borland though. I've seen. I mean, admittedly, it's unfair to judge people off of a couple of clips, but
yeah, he's he's ranked 311 for a reason. Okay, so
yeah.
Is Patty Fisher from TCU or is that a different guy?
No, Patty Fisher's from Northwestern.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's available? Is Tony Fields from West Virginia still there?
At linebacker?
You got to keep in mind these 3-4 inside linebackers for Dean Pease are normally. Look what he had in Tennessee. He had Jayon Brown. He had Evans. So those guys are more on the smaller side, loose, fluid guys that can be able to cover sideline to sideline. So
yeah, I don't see that. I don't see him.
He has the place now with Dion and Woken is pretty much the same process.
Yeah, and they got Walker too. Like I just don't see any really exciting linebackers here.
I think they're going to really experiment with Walker on the edge.
They might.
They may move in that direction.
Yeah.
No linebackers there.
I mean, there's a couple guys like Grant Stewart, Derek Barnes, Buddy Johnson, but yeah.
Let's get some. We can get some O-line depth.
Yeah, there's let's see, Jake Curran, Tristan Hodge, Jim Morrissey on the interior, Dan Moore Jr., Jalen Moore, Drew Himmelman, Alaric Jackson from Iowa.
I like Alaric.
Yeah, I like Alaric. I think he could be. He could be something. I think he could play guard maybe if he doesn't work out at tackle too.
6'6".
And Alaric is such a great like medieval Crusades name too.
Yeah,
it's
I'm feeling it.
Straight out of like Antioch or something. So
I'm not gonna lie. I would not be opposed to taking players who have the coolest names at this point.
Yeah, I mean I'm going with Alaric for the.
I have done that in Madden before. That's how I ended up with one of my legendary receivers, Harry.
Harry. All right, we're doing Alaric just to move this draft forward because we're almost 2 hours here. Get the offensive line depth. Yeah, Harry. That's pretty legendary.
I love how Evan, just like Internet Explorer, was just delayed on that message.
I started thinking about just like it's like one of his best Madden players, and it's like, of course, it's like an absurd name.
If Kevin would have offloaded 218 like we told him to, we wouldn't have to worry.
We wouldn't have to worry about this.
Yeah. Now instead we're offloading viewers instead.
Right.
Are you happy yet, Kevin?
Man, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have traded that 7th just to prevent the pain.
Yeah, man.
But you know what? We're gonna get somebody great here.
Yeah.
Just wait.
You want to take a stab at Marco Wilson from Florida?
Are we going to get the next? We're going to get the next like Tom Brady type player, like the next greatest of all time.
You want to? Hey, Austin. Watkins
somebody way better than Brady.
Hey, Austin Watkins is still here. You want to pick up your boy?
I don't want to double dip a receiver. They don't need
We got some corners. Thomas Graham Jr. Like I said, Marco Wilson. Hey, he's a knucklehead. But
I had let me be totally transparent. Nobody has yelled at me about anything over the last year as much as Florida fans yelled at me for considering Marco Wilson. So
that was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people, because I had Marco in my first mock draft, and of course, fans want him because the fact that he threw a shoe. Like, you don't want to prospect because of that. Like that. Come on.
Let's just.
Oh, that's that guy. Okay.
Let's assess the gravity of this statement, because Dave gets yelled at by a lot of people for a lot of things. If that's
I wonder why, though. I wonder why. It's not.
If that's what he's getting yelled at the most, I would put some stock in that.
Well, what's crazy to me too is like, typically what I'm being yelled at for is not thinking enough of a player, right? Like if it's a UGA guy, an Alabama guy, people hate that. With this one, it was, you want Marco Wilson on this team, you big idiot. It's like, you're not even a Falcons fan. Where did you come from?
What the hell? Yeah.
He just appeared out of thin air to call you an idiot.
Yeah, which I mean happens all the time,
It
but
does.
still.
It does, yeah. Let's see. Hey, we could get another edge. Taron Jackson from Coastal Carolina is still there. I like him. Three edges. One of these guys has to pan out, right? If we take 3 edge players.
Interior lineman.
Let's see. We got Forrest Merrill. He's like a nose tackle. He doesn't even have a scouting report on TDN, so I don't know. But he is 6'1", 320. So he big. Mustafa Johnson
He's
from
almost a
Colorado.
cube.
Yeah. Lorenzo Neal from Purdue. Yeah.
Lorenzo Neal.
Lorenzo Neal from Purdue.
Is he related to Lorenzo Neal, who was a fullback?
See, Kevin, trade the damn pick, man.
It's too late to trade it now. Yeah.
Can we do the Andrew Jackson Memorial pick, which is just like a guy with a president's name? Is there anybody with a president's name that we could pick in the 7th round?
Is Lorenzo Neal, is his dad, Lorenzo Neal, was like the Chargers fullback for a long time? Get another NFL son.
Can't we bring it? Hey, they're all about bringing in competition, right? Can we get a kicker for Youngway?
No, they'll
Kicker
never
for
do
Young?
that.
No,
Well,
never.
now you're gonna go down this entire Evan rant, and we're just gonna.
Hey,
we're just gonna like take another detour, boys. I love you guys, but we are doing way too much deliberation over pick 218.
Yeah.
That Kevin could have traded.
I couldn't just trade it away. Why don't we just get a Georgia player to make the fans happy? DJ Daniel, the corner. Hey.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
We need some dogs.
Yeah. He says he can be a core special teamer. So I think that's pretty good for a 7th rounder, right? I mean,
that's what you hope for in a 7th rounder.
Yeah.
If you were to search my name and core special teamer, it would pop up like 6,000 times. So yeah, let's make it happen.
Let's do it. Georgia fan for the Georgia pick for the fans.
They never take players, but we took one now.
We took one now. There you go, guys. Congratulations.
It's a new era. It's a new era, guys. It's the era of the dog.
The argument here is they don't take Georgia players before day 3. That's going to be the issue next year.
Right. Yeah,
Hey,
Dave.
baby step.
Dave, your boy Felipe Franks was there. Should have taken him.
Yeah, he's not my boy per se, but like I did see one comment in the chat being like, "Does this idiot even watch football?" And
hey, man, Felipe is probably going undrafted. To be honest,
Dave, if you don't get at least one of those per show, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I am, and I get it because like I think it was Spencer Hall, who I love, formerly of SB Nation, that said he can make all the throws, and that includes the terrible ones.
Yep.
So
Exactly. All right. So quick recap here, and then I want to read George's donation before we get out of here. So our draft is finalized. We have made 10 picks total, including 3 trades. I think it was 3 trades in total. So, Terry Fontenot is out here wheeling and dealing. We're just crushing it out here tonight. So we got Trey Lance at 9th overall after trading down with the Bears. Then we traded back up with it was Denver at 9. We traded down to. Then we traded up to 20 with the Bears to take Gregory Rousseau, the edge defender. Then at 41, Denver's 2nd, we took cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. We traded up to 53 for another 2nd-round pick. Took Richie Grant, the safety from UCF. At 68, we took Brevin Jordan, the tight end from Miami. Then we had a big gap. Our next pick was 183, where we selected wide receiver Amir Smith-Marset from Iowa. Then at 190, we took running back Jamar Jefferson from Oregon State. 206, we took edge defender Malcolm Kuntz from Buffalo. 218, we took offensive lineman Alaric Jackson from Iowa. And finally, with that 7th rounder, we took Georgia great cornerback DJ Daniel to round out the class. So that is our mock draft scenario, guys. It was very spicy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to do more of these. I had a good time. Doing that. That was fun.
Hey, man, those first 5 picks.
Yeah, you could just take off the final 5 and it's fine. So.
Well, that's the worst part about us spending so much time on the final 5 too. Is it's like it almost doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
But you know, we care, and that's the difference.
We do care. You know, and I want to flex my knowledge of the top 200. Once we got past the top 200, then it was all out the window. But yeah, so good on us for at least trying to provide some.
What would you grade this? A+?
Yeah. Because we got a 2022 first as well.
Yeah, we got another first too.
So yeah, we got a 2022 first, but we gave up our 2022 third, I believe.
That's an A class.
Yeah.
That is an A class, man. That's a lot of potential. But you got a couple. You definitely got, in my opinion, you got 3 starters on defense.
Yeah.
On day one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
you walked away with arguably the best free safety in the class. You walked away with a fringe first rounder at corner opposite AJ Terrell. You got bigger at edge with Russo, 6'6", 270. Then you get to and all that, and you still get the quarterback.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Yeah,
that's a good class.
I like it.
And the thing with me too is, Lance is a guy that I think if he pans out the way he's supposed to, and if you can give him a year or two, I mean, this might be A++, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This could be like a legendary draft.
Yeah, it could rival the 2008 draft.
And Brevin Jordan. How did I forget about Brevin?
Yeah, just Brevin. Just throw him in there. Yeah.
And the best part was it was totally realistic, and everything went the way it's going to in April.
Definitely. You can just take this mock draft right to the bank.
Yeah, I'm telling you, just send Terry this 2.5 hour show, and watch it.
I'm sure he'll watch it.
VHS tape.
Yeah. Deliver it to him right on there, like mock strategy on there or something. Yeah.
But that he's a measured guy, so he'd respond with, "I spent the 2.5 hours carefully considering this."
Yes, definitely. We'll take this into consideration.
I'm not gonna lie. If anything like that ever happened, I would never write anything negative about Terry Fontenot, in my life.
Ever. Yeah, he would be the nicest man.
The part that's nice right now is it's hard to imagine writing anything negative about him. I listened to his podcast with Steve Weish and Jim Trotter, and the guy's awesome. I absolutely love him right now, and until he makes a pick, I love him.
Well, we would rebrand to the Terry Fontenot-holic.
The Fontaholic.
As awkward as that would be. The font, that doesn't syllable wise. It doesn't work out, but we're gonna make it work.
Yeah, well, we'll workshop that. We'll workshop that over this week. All right, before we get out of here, do you want to read off George's question real quick? George, thank you again for your support, man. He asked, could Atlanta get into a situation where we actually play to our potential and just happen to win a Super Bowl with Ryan? And then do we get into a sort of Flacco contract situation at that point? I don't think it's out of the question that the Falcons have a great season in 2021. All of a sudden, the offense just works like it should have worked under Dirk Cutter, but it was Dirk Cutter, so it didn't work. And they just have a top 5 offense and just make a crazy run. I mean, that's possible, but I still don't think the defense is going to be good enough. But I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, are you gonna post this draft on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll post it on the account, and then you can retweet and, comment on it. Yeah. All that good stuff. You guys should all do that too, by the way, all you nice viewers. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you do see stuff on Twitter, feel free to comment on that. We appreciate that. But before we get out of here, guys, again, I want to thank you for checking us out and hanging out with us for over 2 hours. This is going to be our longest show now. So shout out to everyone for sticking around this long. We just had to get that 7th round pick in. So that's just how it is.
That added about 20 minutes to
just the seventh
the
round pick. Yeah, exactly. So next time we'll make sure to trade that pick. Just got to make sure. Yeah. So that was my bad there. That's just my bad. So yeah, guys, we do appreciate you. Before we get out of here, I want to thank my co-hosts this evening. First of all, Dave Choate, he's on Twitter at the Falcoholic, also at Words and Beer. Dave, anything that you'd like to plug or talk about tonight?
No, just the great work you guys are doing. I've been reading a lot of the draft profiles, the mock drafts. I'm really excited to see where this draft takes us, but this team is doing a great job covering it. I'm really excited to see what's ahead, and look for more old jokes from Adnan on Twitter as well. So
yes, that's a very important component of all this. Speaking
absolutely.
of Adnan, he is on Twitter at Say Which Way. Adnan, anything you're working on you'd like to plug?
Yes, very excited. I am starting up a series of the Falcons' greatest moments of all time in a March Madness bracket form. So I've somehow come up with 64 moments. It was a lot harder than you think. This franchise has been pathetic for the past 50 years, so it was not an easy endeavor. But it will be a series of articles coming up where the viewers will be able to vote for their favorite moments in a head-to-head bracket type form, which will start soon, and it'll go for the next month or so. And the next article in that will be the readers helping with seeding by voting for whichever moments they like overall. So that article should be posted sometime this weekend.
Yes, definitely,
and
guys.
Just want to add to that the amount of work that Adnan put into getting this 64 moments from Falcons history that are positive is amazing. So please do vote.
You, it was maybe the toughest thing I've ever done with the Falcoholic. Like I thought at first, 64 moments. Like, how hard can it be? After like 35, it got incredibly difficult.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, just putting in the work, brother. We appreciate that. I think it's going to be a fun series, too. So I hope the fans do check that out and enjoy it very much.
And still, I will probably be called an idiot for leaving out some
really obscure.
Some like play from 1984.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Like, look at Adnan. Do you expect this man to have all the plays from 1984 on tap? Okay, I don't. I certainly don't. Also with us tonight, Eric Robinson. He's on Twitter at @Eric_Robinson. Eric, anything that you're working on you'd like to plug?
But the scouting reports have started to be churned out as of late. So I have Michael Parsons, Kwity Paye, and Joseph Asai is coming out sometime this week. So I'm really, really excited about those. So take a look whenever they come out.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Check that out. And then also with us tonight, Evan Birchfield at Evan Birchfield on Twitter. Evan, anything that you're working on you'd like to plug?
Oh, of course. I always plug something. Not just because Dave's here. No, I did a article about basically since 2008, the first round quarterbacks and kind of how they've panned out. So I'm going to be doing that with running backs and left tackle or just offensive tackles in general, I guess. So I don't know which position I'm going to do first, but if you want to check out the quarterback one, it's up on the site.
Yeah, definitely check that out, guys, for all that good draft intel. Also, shout out to George Costanza for another $3, brother. Thank you. He just had to get in a Kyle Pitts reference. So, thank you, George. Thank you. He says, thanks for the long mock draft. You're welcome. We had a lot of fun doing it. I'm sure we will be doing another one because it's a long off season. Got a lot of time until the draft. So thank you again, guys. Appreciate that. And again, I'm Kevin Knight at Falcoholic Kevin. Check out the other videos on the channel. We just did one on edge, and then before that, we did safety. And on Friday, we're going to have one on defensive tackle, free agent targets for the Falcons. So if you're interested in checking out some of the free agents the Falcons could look at, a mix of like higher end guys and mid-range and depth signings, check that out for a good place to get started on those free agent signings. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week for another episode. Until then, guys, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you happen to be in one of those cold places we mentioned, try to stay warm out there. Stay safe, guys. And we will talk to you next time. All right. Have a great night, folks.